Here at Precision OS, we develop surgical simulation in virtual reality, allowing users to experience and gain skills in a safe and dedicated space. This video today will showcase many of our platform's features and best functions that really make it a fantastic educational experience. Our modules are generally set up in a stepwise logical progression that starts from the beginning and introduction of the surgery through all the way to a metrics panel that shows users how they've done and gives them feedback around how they could improve for subsequent attempts. These chapter buttons are actually functional, and a user can click on any of them to jump to a specific part of the surgery that they wish to practice. Our modules are all built around the idea of providing learners with feedback. In this case, I can see how I've done on my anteromedial anchor placement. I can pull the bones out of the body and see where that anteromedial anchor that I placed was, in comparison to where ideal anchor positions are. Many of our modules are based on arthroscopy, and allowing a user to insert the scope at a variety of different places can give them the freedom to explore and experience how best to manipulate and position the scope to get the views that they're after. And the ability to actually just turn the skin of the patient off. If I press the button up there, you can see that the skin's been removed. This can aid a learner in really comprehending what they're looking at and why the best angle of approach is through a certain portal at a given time. We've also developed the ability to manipulate the arm. It's a super great tool to allow users to really get a good sense of how not only do I need to drive the scope, but I may need to move the arm of the patient itself in order to get a good view that I am after. I'm completing an arthroscopic ACL reconstruction, and as I have to do most of this on scope, sometimes, if I'm a novice learner, it's going to be challenging to understand exactly what I'm after. However, we've developed the ability to do this in sawbones mode. We can pull the anatomy out of the body and visualize this in 3D directly in front of me. As you can see, I've got fluoroscopy images of a fractured leg, and traction sliders here that allow me to adjust the leg itself. As I take images and adjust these sliders, you can see the image on the screen reflects that. Building a strong concept of 2D visualization into 3D structures can be difficult. However, we can pull the bones out of the body and visualize this directly in front of us as we try and do the reduction. We've also developed the ability to position and place retractors to aid students in correct positioning for optimal surgical procedure. The entirety of our Precision OS catalog of modules and cases are mapped to the ACGME and CanMed's milestones and competencies. This detailed curriculum can help residents as well as program directors get the most from our software, so please don't hesitate to reach out. We would be delighted to show it to you. Our VR projector. This allows you to put up PowerPoint slides, PDFs, or even videos to showcase what a user should be doing in a given procedure. Helpful panels to showcase exactly what's going to be occurring within a surgery. These helpful panels and guides can really give a lot of detail around what exactly you're trying to do in a given surgical procedure. We've also developed a whiteboard in VR, so you can take your notes and write out to your students whatever you feel the need to. Virtual reality allows us to highlight structures in 3 dimensions in order to see where they run below certain tissues. I can mobilize the arm and see where it would be positioned in different arm positions. I can also toggle the skin and get a more direct view of how it runs. Adults tend to learn best by doing, and in our modules we try and enforce that. As I try and resect the humeral head here, if I make a bad cut, I'm given metrics that reflect that. On my subsequent attempt, I can be given additional cues and help along the way. You can see I've been given a planar guide here that's going to guide my resection so that I can maybe do better in the subsequent attempt. Great. One additional feature here is I can still pull the bones out of the body and get a visual of how I've done compared to the plane of the ideal resection cut guide.